Today I'm going to repot my plant. She is not looking the best. There are some dead leaves on this side, and then there's one here and one here. And I don't know what's going on, but the last time this happened, I repotted her and she was doing well. She started to do better. And just chit chat while I do this. I also don't know the name of this plant, so if you happen to know what kind of plant this is, please leave a comment down below and tell me what is wrong with my plant. So while I do this, I want to talk about this meeting that I was just in at work. So I was just in this meeting where it was like a happy hour, but of course it was during the workday, so hopefully people were not drinking alcohol. I wasn't. I had some iced water. It was very good. Also, excuse the light. The lighting in this apartment is horrible. So one of the questions, so everybody had to like answer 2 questions. And one was like about what advice you would give to new people starting in the organization. So I answered that one, pretty easily. And then the second one was about what time period would you go back in time to visit if you could? Let me get a knife. Okay, I'm back. I had to go get a package from the door. So the question was about what time period would you visit if you could go back in time? And I was like, this question is kind of whack. What if you want to go into the future? So at work, I don't really feel comfortable being very open and forthcoming. So with stuff like this, I always just give a very generic answer. I try to depend on my sense of humor, which is usually not offensive, at least at work. So I try to just give like a very generic answer, which is what I did. So my personal answer was, I would love to go back to 2019 before the pandemic and go and like back on the trip that I took to London, England back then to go to a John Mayer concert. And so that was my answer. It was very boring and I was fine with that. But another woman decided to give a more truthful answer. And she said that her answer was that she wishes that she could go back before she met her ex-husband and basically not meet him. And when she said that, several people got really uncomfortable. And one of the managers, so I don't know if he is like her manager or not, but one of the managers tried to kind of smooth things over. And he was like, oh, well, I know that you got 2 kids. I know you have 2 beautiful kids from that relationship. So, maybe it was still good that you met him. And before, just as a little bit more context, she said that these are literally her words. She said that her ex-husband had been detrimental to her health. So we can imagine what that might mean, whether it's in, a really bad way or a less bad way or whatever. You can kind of imagine what she meant by that. And so, but even though she said that, the manager really was trying to like smooth things over, I guess. And he said that, well, you basically, it wasn't that bad. You got 2 kids out of the deal. So I wanted to talk about that because, and I talked to a friend about this too. because it's so common that when people open up to us, if we become uncomfortable, we try to smooth things over. And by doing that, you can really disrespect somebody's experience, and you can really deter them from opening up again. So I'm not saying that during this work meeting she should have even, brought this up, or that during the work meeting the manager should have been like, oh my God, your ex-husband's an asshole. I'm not saying that there should have been some extreme reaction or whatever, but I notice this all the time, that the times that even when I have said that I'm having a hard time with something, or I'm sad, or whatever emotion that people deem as quote unquote not positive, if you express that you're having some emotion like that, or you have some feelings like that, so often people will try to really smooth things over. And so I think it's because people get uncomfortable when people are sad or just experiencing anything that's deemed a quote-unquote negative emotion. There is really no such thing as a negative emotion. You are a human being. You're going to have all of the emotions, and you can't really even tell what happiness is unless you have also experienced something that has made you unhappy, for example. So I just wanted to talk about this quickly so I can hopefully encourage other people from automatically jumping on that, like, oh, it's gonna be okay, be positive, all of this, like, nowadays this everything's positive bullshit that is not at all remotely realistic with real life. I'm not saying that you should just dwell in all of your sadness and stuff, but especially if somebody else is opening up to you, we always want to be, I think we should always try to be as respectful as possible to what they have told you. It's a big deal to open up to somebody and say, hey, my life has not been amazing. Hey, I've had a hard time. Hey, this person made me sad, or this situation made me sad. It takes a lot of courage to even open up and say something like that. Okay, I had to get myself resorted with the plant. But yeah, like I was saying, it takes so much courage to even come forth and say that you're not happy or you haven't been happy, because so much of our lives we're just told, like, if you're not happy, then it's your fault, everything is your fault, and you should be happy all the time, or you should just constantly be striving for happiness or bigger, better, especially in American culture. I don't know about other cultures because I'm American. I know the most about American culture. But it's just not, that's just not how things are. I'm not even going to say that it's not realistic. It's just, I'm not being negative. It just is what it is. So anyway, the next time that someone is brave enough to come out and share some of their pain with you, I would, regardless of the situation, I am challenging you in this video right now to just listen. Don't try to make it better for them, because really, when you say stuff that is dismissive of a person's experience, you're not really trying to make it better for them. You're just trying to make yourself feel more comfortable. And I get it. Like, I've definitely been in that situation where I have tried, I've been well-intended and said things like, oh, it's okay, but you're doing a good job or whatever. And I, meant whatever I said, but a lot of times, people don't really need to have stuff sugar-coated for them. They need somebody to just listen, be their friend, not try to solve it, because a lot of times you can't anyway. You're just saying stuff that you think will make the person feel better, but what if they felt better just because you listened to them? So it's a good practice for myself, because I am definitely guilty of this. I remember one of the times that I became really aware of how bad it feels to not really have somebody listen to you is when I went through, I have two examples. When I went through a breakup and people were like, oh, you're gonna get back together. I didn't want to get back together with the person. I just wanted space to feel sad, and I wanted to talk to someone about me feeling sad. And that's it. I just wanted to talk. Like I wasn't looking for some level of being consoled, especially with some suggestion of a solution that I didn't want. I just wanted to talk about how I felt. That's it. That is it. Nothing more. That was one time. And another time I had a health issue, and it was kind of the same thing. Like the person was like, oh, but you'll be able to do blah, blah, blah later, whoop-de-whoop. I didn't need that. I just wanted to talk. So now I'm at the point where I'm self-aware enough that I can kindly correct or redirect the person that I'm talking to and just say, hey, I'm not looking for a solution. I'm not looking for that type of consolation. I just want to tell you about how I'm feeling, and I just want you to listen. And that's it. And sometimes when I've told people that, they kind of get defensive. Then I know that's not a person that I'm going to be talking to about these type of personal issues, because I feel like a real friend should be able to kind of get themselves together, know how to support you, especially if you tell them exactly how, and then go from there and not be defensive. In both of those cases, it felt very, very bad to have shared something very personal with another person and just want to, have a friendly ear, but instead be met with solutions that are not even ones that I wanted, or things that it's just like a fairy tale, basically. So I just wanted to share that and talk about that. So I've repotted my plant, and I hope that she does better. I don't know if you can see, because I can't tell exactly how great the footage is on this video, but this little container was still on the roots and I didn't know, so I just cut it off. Maybe this is part of the problem. So I cut it off and I switched out the soil. So now I'm going to water it. Now the pot is just, I emptied out the old water. So now I'm going to water this, and then I'll do my other one. I have a little cactus kind of plant thing over there too. So I'll do that one too.